Happy Hump Day, everyone, and welcome back to Brown Bag Bets, powered by BETSPERTS. We are your daily dose of quick hit handicapping and sports betting picks. I'm Alex Christenson. In a few moments, I'll get to apologizing for my Philadelphia 76ers. But joining me, as always, Mr. Andy Molitor. We're about halfway through the week, Andy. How's it going? It's your son's birthday today, I believe, so you had some interesting breakfast, huh?
Yeah, had some bacon and a donut because that's what he wanted. I will be as it's like those tweets
It's a
where
big
you've
cat
had
breakfast.
yeah, it's those tweets where you have like the wife and the husband are having a conversation. I could make one of those where she's like, "Hey, it's Axel's. His name is almost Alex. It's Axel, which is they call him
Just
Alex
got
a
the
lot
spelling wrong.
places. Yeah, just he fucked up the spelling. But yeah, it's like the wife's like, "Oh, we're having people over for the birthday this weekend." I'm like, "Oh, like I'll smoke some meat." She's like, "No, we don't need that much meat." I'm like, "I'll be at the store." So
It's a
I've
children's
already
birthday.
yeah, I've already working on acquiring a very large amount of pork shoulder to smoke this weekend as one does for a child's birthday. Looking forward to that. Looking forward to some more World Series games. A really good college slate this weekend. I'm excited to get towards the end of the week, talk some college. Basketball, hockey has always been on as usual, and the NFL. Better slate. There's not as many 15 to 20 point favorites this weekend. So that's something. We should have a little. And if we don't have a better Monday night, Sunday night combination, I don't know what to tell you. If it somehow is worse than the last two, maybe we just fold the league.
Thursday
Maybe we
night
just call
football is
it here.
supposed to be bad. I can accept that. But Monday night and Sunday night should be fun. Like,
It
if not
should
both
be.
of those games, at least one of them should be pretty great.
One of them, yeah, the cumulative sum of those two games will be better than the Niners and Seattle games that we had last weekend. But we will fire off with some NBA. One of these I already bet because I was convinced strongly by the NBA channel. I'll let you decide which one it was. Certainly wasn't the Celtics. Either
That was the one
giving
I
giving
added late.
yeah giving away the good surprise. But yeah, I'll let you take it away some NBA picks to fire off to start today.
Yeah, the Sixers, you know what? Everything went to plan, Andy. Joel Embiid played. Well, he was on the court. To say whether or not he played was a bit up and down. Some of it watched quite a bit of that game. The Knicks at one point made, I think, quite literally close to 20 shots in a row or something, like a dozen in a row. It was outrageous. And at some point, the Sixers just sort of packed it in. Who knows? We'll see how they do. But we've got a bunch of games tonight, a full slate. We'll jump in. The first one up here. This is the marquee game of the night. The Miami Heat visit the Brooklyn Nets, and as much as I love the Brooklyn Nets, 4 points is too many for the Miami Heat here. You look at this team. You look at the matchup. Again, the Nets without Kyrie Irving, as I've said before, are still a very, very good roster. But the Heat is probably a similarly good roster, and in some ways, a lot better. You look at the depth. It's weird to think of the depth of a starting lineup, but it's not as top heavy of a starting five. It's pretty talented top to bottom as opposed to having a couple stars and some, above average guys like the Nets do. So it's just a really nice matchup for them. I go back and look. Was curious to see that this opened where it was. Some of the market rating stuff I looked at had this closer to like Nets 2.5, Nets 3. I look at my own numbers here. I have this, basically Nets -1, -2. So I was happy to grab the 4. We'll draw the line here though. If this is 3.5. I don't think you should play it. I mean, maybe if it's like plus money or something and less than standard juice, that's probably okay. But really drawing the line here at 4. Unfortunately, we're right kind of at the line there. I like this matchup for the Heat. It's a 3 and 4 spot as well for Brooklyn, so a little bit of a rest advantage for Miami. And I think we're really going to see how important and how powerful Tyler Hero off the bench is tonight. I think he's going to have quite a bit of points tonight. So maybe use him for some DFS or something. This next number is on the move. I'm looking right now. It might just be gone. You guys, unfortunately, might have missed it. Apologies. But I do like the under tonight in the Lakers-Oklahoma City Thunder matchup. I was able to grab this at 220. It has, again, taken some money here on the under. Actually, it looks like the line just came off on Bovada. So I'd play this down to about 219, 218.5 at less than standard juice looks okay. These teams, the Lakers playing off a back-to-back, played at a very fast pace last night without LeBron James. If LeBron James comes back, I expect it to be a much slower pace again. He generally slows the game down. If he doesn't play, I think we'll see the effects of a back-to-back, which generally means that teams get worse at what they're bad at and stay about the same at what they're good at. The Lakers are a good defensive team, a bad offensive team. I think that really plays into our strength. Same thing with the Thunder here. Again, I believe it's a 3-4 for them, also a back-to-back. And they're a defensive team. So I think we're going to see a slow, ugly, inefficient game tonight. Happy to grab the under. Again, we'll play that down to 219 or 218.5 at less than standard juice. And the pick you mentioned earlier, this is one, again, it's hold your nose pick, know you're going to have that feeling in the pit of your stomach pick. The Celtics -4.5. The Celtics are hosting the Wizards. They've had kind of an up and down start to the year, but Jaylen Brown's playing. It looks like the lineup's all finally healthy. Al Horford looks like he's going to be good to go tonight. The Wizards have struggled to sort of put things together. I think the Beal injury with him being in and out has messed up a little bit of their fluidity. And at the end of the day, this is a great matchup for Boston. They have all the guards that you need to match up with all the players that the Wizards are bringing. Generally, the Celtics are worried about playing kind of spark plug point guards and big men. Bradley Beal's very good, but the Wizards don't really have the kind of point guard that generally troubles the Celtics or a center that's going to be really able to attack them down low. They will have Montrezl Harrell coming off the bench, but just not the same big man that generally gives the Celtics trouble. As now that they're finally healthy, they're at home. I think they're starting to put it together here. I had this closer to 6.5 myself. So Celtics -4.5. Let's hope that we can take advantage of the hot start for favorites here, Andy.
I'm down, and I like a good smelly pick. I don't care. Let's get weird with it. I'll play some basketball tonight. There's only one baseball game. Is there a Wednesday night college football game? I feel
Almost
like if
certainly.
I see Dan start typing in the chat, I'm not seeing anything.
Not even a MAC game.
Thursday. No, we have multiple.
That's disgraceful. Somebody fire the president of the MAC.
Games. Basically, the whole East Coast, Southern East Coast is playing. South Florida, East Carolina tomorrow, and Troy, Coastal Carolina. So a lot of coastal stuff going on, and then some Friday games as well. But nothing tonight. There is a baseball game. They just played yesterday. They'll play again.
How'd that go yesterday?
They should do doubleheaders in the World Series. That'd be fun. I bet no one's ever done that. Somebody correct me on that in case there's some weirdness in like the 1893 World Series.
I'm sure in 1914 they just played 3 games in one day, and that was the World Series.
Then the same guy pitched all 3 of them, threw 300 pitches that day. The Braves got it done last night, 6-2. My prop bet came through.
Yes, well done.
Basically, the first at bat in the first inning for Austin Riley, he hit an RBI double, he had an RBI, and he had a hit. So that gave him 2, and Altuve failed to reach base whatsoever, so he did not score any runs, did not have any hits.
2-0.
And of course, did not have any RBIs, so 2-0. The shutout for Austin Riley. I didn't find one of those I love tonight. I feel like it was still a good bet, but I wonder how much static was in there. I talked a little bit about Altuve versus the starting pitcher. And then, neither starting pitcher lasted, I think it was 2 and then 2 1/3 for the 2 starting pitchers. So maybe don't put too much stock in that. And, I was seeing people on Maldonado because of how he was versus Morton. And then you go back and look at some context. It's like a lot of that was Morton on the Pirates. Like, how much context can we put into versus starting pitcher in some of this? So I'd kind of like to talk to some of my baseball guys, and the props are fun. I think you can find some nice angles on that. But tonight, again, Houston is favored, very similarly priced to last night. Houston a -16 favorite, Atlanta -2 on the comeback, 8.5. I don't understand how the under hit yesterday, so I will be on the over today. Basically, very interested to see how these managers manage these bullpens going forward. Like I said, both starters only went about 2 innings, so they had to get deep. I think we used 4 and 5 relievers respectively for the 2 teams last night. And bullpen management is going to be big because obviously Lance McCullers is gone for Houston, and now we have Charlie Steakhouse done for the series with a broken shin bone, which sounds awful.
Oh.
You ever whack your shin on like the toffee table? That's the worst. Now imagine a comebacker.
That's hard to do, I would think. Your shin's pretty strong.
Rough. And I think the fact that he pitched on it makes me feel like he cracked it and then must have just exacerbated it by landing. It was his landing foot. So, yeah, tough guy, Charlie Steakhouse. Good job by him. Good job by the Braves getting game 1. Houston needs this one pretty bad. You don't want to head back to Atlanta down 0-2, although they did have a series like that against the Nats where every road team just won all 7 games. Very odd. I'm on the over here just based on these offenses. Like, this should probably be 9. It got steamed up yesterday. Those people probably deserve better. 18 men left on base, 7 extra base hits last night.
Oh, my.
So, yeah, Altuve, Correa, and Buddy Breggs, Mr. Bregman win a combined 0 for 12. You're not going to have that often.
So using if you're using a true accuracy win-loss system, that would probably be a win for the over.
True accuracy, the over was a win. So I will be on the over, and let's play some Kurzmeyer.
That's right, baby. We got some tennis. Nothing in the Transylvanian Open, although if you're looking for a fun tweet this morning, one of the girls, Jacqueline Adina Christian, showed up in a vampire cape. That's quite fun. They do have the Transylvania Open in Cluj-Napoca. If you want to back Christian, she's plus 180 against Tom Miljanovic here shortly. Don't mind that bet. I have her just about that number, but that's not the worst play. Everything else is really big favorite. So we go back to Italy again, not France, as I said the other day. Coramaior in Italy again. Been a really fun tournament. We're going to start with Kalinskaya. This match will start shortly after the show is over. It looks like this is the next matchup after the current match finishes. I believe they're just about done. So try to get this one in pretty quickly. Kalinskaya plus 110 would play this down to plus 105 or better. The young player having a really nice second half to the season. Got tripped up with a little bit of an injury in her last event, and I think that's maybe being a little bit overvalued. Looked okay in her first match. Is playing Allison Risk. Now, this is the time of the year Risk generally does very well, but usually she's in Asia playing in indoors, playing in much faster courts. We are indoors here, which helps Risk, but really like Kalinskaya here as a dog. I have her favored around minus 120, minus 125 or so as I start to tweak some things. So try to get that one in. We'll look the next back here. And very important, Andy, know your Wong. We've got a Wong here. Not GU, not GU, not Jinyu, Jinyu. This is actually Jinyu. There's a whole bunch. Anyway, there's only one Wong playing in Coramaior, thankfully. But Jinyu Wong playing 3 games against Shuai Zhang. Zhang, a solid tour veteran, generally picks up her points, kind of on grass season a little bit at some of these hardcore tournaments, but I believe is 1-9 in her last 10 matches or so, has been playing some very poor tennis. Wong here, the young player, similar to Kalinskaya, kind of on a nice upward arc here at the end of the season. So happy to grab her minus 3 games. I had this at 3.5, almost 4 for myself. So, that number of 3-4 is pretty key in tennis. So to be able to get 3 when it should be 3.5 or 4 is pretty nice there. Feel free to play it out a little further if you want for plus money, but minus 3 should be available just about anywhere at standard juice. So 2 plays for us there. A money line getting underway. Thank you, Patrick McCann. In the chat starts in about 20 minutes or so. It looks like maybe even less. And then Wong, this one will actually be overnight. So this will be as you're getting your coffee and starting up your day tomorrow.
Overnight tennis. I'm going to have songs in my head from Rocky Horror Picture Show if you keep talking Transylvania. I don't know which one. I don't even know which one. Oh, man, did my camera go goofy today? We'll bring it back. Look at that. Just like that, I'm back. And just like that, we are back in Bermuda. And thankfully, there is only one Wong in Courmayeur. It is like the Mike Williams of tennis. There's just 100 of them. There will always be multiple Wongs, especially when you get to the Asian swing, and a lot of them are playing in the same tournament. That is awful. Bermuda, Bahama, the weather's pretty bad. It is. They've canceled the Pro-Am because of rain and super high gusts, which it doesn't take like, oh my God, it must be a hurricane. Like, they cancel Pro-Ams for bad weather pretty quick. Like, all right, it's the Pro-Am. We don't really need this. We're not going to make him go play in this shit. So it's not like it's unplayable conditions or something, but something to keep an eye on, especially if you live bet this tournament, because the people who start on 1 will play the first 5 holes. I believe it's 5. I'm going to go look at a map. I want to dig into this a little deeper this afternoon. The first 5 holes of this tournament are inland. They're protected by a little bit more trees and just the fact that they're not on the damn ocean. So some of these guys who are starting on 10 and have to start in the outlying holes maybe aren't going to be scoring as highly to start their round, and they get to close their round on some of the easier holes, the scoreable holes, especially those first 5-6 holes. There's a couple of 5s that are reachable. So if you are a guy who likes to get into that live first round leader market, maybe look at some of those people who are starting on those outsides, starting in 10, because half the field will start at 10, the other half starts on hole 1. But for me, I'm not betting any first-round leaders off the bat. I might find some guys later. A couple of matchups I took. These are full tournament matchups, just to be clear. It's not day one stuff. McCarthy over Joseph Bramlett. Bramlett has been a guy who's been good off the tee, been good second shot, can't putt worth shit. Just absolutely. I mean, these guys are kind of opposite right now. It's like Denny is a putter. Denny will have a good putting performance pretty much anywhere, a little bit lower on just everything else in his game. So I'm not gonna go with the hot putter analogy, the hot putter guy on this one. Like it's one of those where if Bramlett putts well, like this full tournament matchup is super dead. But on Bermuda, I'm not going with guys who have good games, and I'm banking on a good putting performance, especially in head-to-heads. Like a guy like Bramlett is maybe a nice tickle on the outright market, even though his odds kind of suck. I wouldn't be betting Joseph Bramlett 40-1 even in this market. So I will be fading guys like that in head-to-heads. Same thing with Hadwin Ramius. Is he the sub-captain? Chad Ramey. I'm going to call him Ramey. His sample size is a little smaller just because he hasn't been on big tour events, played some alt tours, smaller tours. I'm taking Adam Hadwin over him. Hadwin's a guy who's been just fine, especially with the short game. Good putter. Again, Chad Ramey, bad putter. And I actually had a conversation about him this morning about his driving accuracy. I'm not so sure where we're getting some of these stats from. I actually dug in a little. He's not hitting that many fairways. It's not that great if I go actually look down at some of the data. So I'm digging into like why he's being rated as a decent driver of the ball. Good second shot guy. But if you're not hitting the fairways, your second shot's not going to matter as much. You're not going to hit those greens. And again, he struggles with putting. He's another one too. Like if you want him outright, that's where I'd be looking at him, but certainly not at 40 or 50-1. He's 33 listed some places. He might be a good guy to take live if you believe in him and you're getting a better number. So just those two for now. If I have anything else for golf over the weekend, I'll probably tweet it out. Although I'm pretty light in the old wraparound season. It's just a good way to piss away outright money from the year.
That's the spirit.
I believe in these two. I believe in Chase Seifert, baby. I believe in my outrights. So honestly, if you are doing first round leader stuff, this is a great tournament to find a few first round leader guys that you think that are long shots that you like. Because there is a decent, like Brian Gay won this tournament last year. Like there's somebody, this tournament field sucks. Somebody with some big numbers behind their name might win this. And there's, I think oh man, Peter Malnati maybe was first round leader last year. Like somebody random's going to shoot a 63. So find some guys you think that can get hot with the flat stick and find some first round leaders that you like. I might put some out this afternoon if I get a little time. And again, 4 sports again today we did. And none of them were hockey. Once again, I'll find a hockey bet I like and bet it tonight. I'm just all my hockey money is tied up in McDavid Hart stuff. So I don't have any hockey money. PrizePicks, quick shine on them. Something to look for if you follow the @BETSPERTS account on Twitter. Matt, who you've seen on the show a couple times, will be putting together some late night PrizePicks entries for you. If you want to, maybe that's something you want to do is you want to play PrizePicks, you don't know what to play. He's going to be doing some research on basketball and hockey. Basketball and hockey always will have 10 p.m., 9 p.m. Eastern games. So something to do late night for you. Look for that in the BETSPERTS account. And if you don't have an account, if you haven't made a deposit yet, you can get a deposit match up to $100 on your first deposit using promo code BBB. Dan in the chat, producer Dan, says he'll have a college football PrizePicks entry for tomorrow and Friday up on BETSPERTS. So if you're looking for something to play, something to tail along, we'll have some stuff for you too. Feel free to hit us in the comments with any questions you have. And with that, Alex, what do you say?
That's all we got. We'll see you tomorrow. A little Thursday, one more day, and then it's Felica Friday.